The following announcement's been paid for by the Savvo and Stubby Show.
Quiet on the set. Can we please have quiet on the set?
What is up, wrestling fans? It's me. It's S-T-U-B-B. Why? Because I'm the man, the myth, the legend, the mighty minion himself, Stubby, and I am joined by my colleague as usual. He is the enigmatic, charismatic, Greek mystique, the Mediterranean mastermind, the big dog, Big Papa Savvo. How you doing, Papa?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Stubby?
I'm doing all right. It seems like we just did this show.
Yeah, we did, but hey, it's good to be back, and there's a lot of stuff to talk about.
I guess this is what happens when you're sick. Not down with the sickness, but when you're sick and you procrastinate and put the show off until the last minute.
Hey, if you're not well, there is no show.
Oh, that's too sweet. So what do we got this week? Because I know when we started the show 2 days ago, I was just finishing up SmackDown, but I did not get to the ending.
Right.
And I have to say that SmackDown really knows how to draw out a segment, don't they?
that ending was drawn out like big time, yeah.
It was like,
what the hell are they doing?
10 minutes.
It was almost uncomfortable. I'm sure Orton was almost uncomfortable, probably.
10 minutes too long.
Yeah, looking at the camera, with just a blank look on his face.
And what was he doing? Setting hot dogs and worms on fire?
They were Frankfurters.
Oh.
Vienna sausages, I mean.
I guess. But yeah, he had that awkward. They had that awkward camera like panning out, looking at Wyatt, then going back to Orton, and he's just staring at the camera. Then they go back to Wyatt, and then they go back to Orton, and he's still just staring at the camera. I was starting to get uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's like, okay, he's probably thinking inside, okay, cut the fucking camera off. That's enough. And then when they did show Bray, he was being over dramatic when he was like out of the ring. It's just like, okay, this needs to end now.
Yeah, I kind of lost respect for him after that because he comes off as this like dark, mystical, like badass, and then he's crying because his barn set on fire.
But it's what's the name again?
Sister Abigail.
Abigail, yeah, Sister Abigail, yeah.
I named my sausage or my bologna OSCAR, not Abigail. I mean, they couldn't even make it look like. So if she's dead and she's like bones and stuff, why was there meat in the ground? I wonder if
You're not supposed to ask why.
I wonder if catering was set up right there and whatever just fell off the table, they let sit there and then they just threw worms on top of it.
Maybe they got the boogeyman there and he spit him up.
Dude, what the fuck? He supposedly is dousing everything in gasoline, and then he lights that match and he's holding it in his hand and it's like inches away from, not even inches, centimeters away from his fingers.
Right.
If his hand's doused in gasoline, which his hands were dripping wet, wouldn't he be like screaming on fire? Don't even get me started. Then he steps outside and he's still dousing the house. And if you go back and watch it, you can actually see like the predetermined gasoline trail already soiled.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, already soiled in the dirt. Which is funny because if you watch NXT, you can probably even see Eric Young and Insanity in the background shooting their promo because they were in the pretty much same area.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were standing around a dumpster. It was like a homeless heater.
They're running out of ideas, I guess, huh?
I guess. They're duplicating ideas, and that's what's pissing me off. I talked about it on the last show.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah, it was the show itself was pretty good overall with AJ and Harper and all that, and Alexa Bliss. But yeah, that ending was a little odd.
Before we jump any further, I got to do what I did half-ass in episode, I think it was 2.5 or 1.5, whatever it is. I have a segment that I want to call a stubby sound off, and this is me bitching and complaining about something that just didn't sit right with me. There's more than one thing that happened, and maybe you can even sound off at the same time. But I want to take a second and let's do a sound off. Time for a stubby sound off. All right, man. My biggest gripe this week is the fact that just a week ago or 2 weeks ago, however long ago Elimination Chamber was, everyone was chanting, "You deserve it," when Bray Wyatt won the belt. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so then why is it on SmackDown, when Randy Orton is standing inside that barn or his compound and starts dousing it on fire, everyone is cheering to set his house on fire? I mean, call me crazy, but you're cheering this guy to win a belt, but now you're cheering for him to be homeless. It just doesn't make sense to me.
The one word that clears all that up.
Fans are assholes.
Sheep.
Now, this is my sound off. I want to give you a chance to sound off. What is your gripe for the week?
Let's see, for the week. Okay, well, it's going to just sound too repetitious, but the New Day is my sound off. It's like, shut the fuck up. It's no longer funny. It's getting too annoying. And I mean, like I've said it before, but that's my sound off there.
And that's been a stubby sound off. Yeah, I just had to get that shit off my chest real quick, because I just found it hilarious that we go from 1 week saying you deserve it to the next week kind of not liking the guy.
Well, he deserved a championship. He didn't deserve an empty shack with a dead person in it.
Yeah.
It wasn't his home. There was no bed set up, nothing.
Can you? I'm confused by this also. How did what was the whole point of having the Battle Royal if Randy Orton won the Royal Rumble, then reneged on his wanting to fight, and decides he wants to fight again?
Right. It was a setup, but it's like in real life, management would be like, you gave up your title shot. You go back. You're back of the line.
Yeah, fuck you. You're done.
I mean, come on, be serious. Wait, now we got to throw Randy in.
I just don't understand the point of the build. Was it? I mean, it didn't drive a bigger wedge between Harper and Bray because that was already set 2 weeks prior.
Right, and now it's almost seeming like they're not going to throw Harper in there unless there's, swerve on the next couple weeks where he gets another chance at it.
And if this was a build for Shane and AJ, it was a half-ass attempt. There could have been, the second match wasn't even necessary. He could have just said flat out, your feet hit the ground.
Right.
And then AJ could have got pissed off and, challenged him on it, and then it went to fisticuffs.
It was too funny because it's like, is there really a debate on who landed first?
Yeah, and
who landed first? Obviously, AJ fell first.
You would think that they'd get an obscure camera angle, but they got the clearest one possible.
Right.
It's like you're looking right at it, and they're saying, "You're not seeing this. This isn't happening."
Yeah.
It's all an illusion. So fucking stupid.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. because they kept repeating it. How many? I mean, they repeated it last week, and then they did it again this week with Shane and Daniel Bryan.
You know what made it worse is the fact that they added a rewind sound effect. Like,
Say that again?
They added a sound effect like he's rewinding the screen.
Oh.
But I use computer software here to edit the show, and it doesn't make that rewind sound whenever I go back.
Maybe we have better equipment than they did.
Come on, they're $1 billion conglomerate. I'm not. I mean, they throw it in for added effect, but it's like you guys are dumb. What stupid faces, man! Fucking stupid faces. All right, so I know this topic is really close to heart. What the hell is going on with TNA?
Well, let's see. Where do we begin?
A lot
we
has.
got new management.
Yeah, a lot has happened in the last week alone.
Yeah, we have Jeff Jarrett and Dutch Mantel are in charge, I guess. I mean, they're not. Anthem owns the company now, but Jeff Jarrett and Dutch Mantel will be running it.
So tell me, real quick,
Yeah.
Mick Foley screws up and books a couple bad matches. His job is on the line. Jeff Jarrett and Dutch Mantel lose a couple key starting players in their program, and they still got jobs.
Yeah, but my understanding of how they lost the Hardys and Drew Galloway, it's not because they didn't offer them something good, is they offered it kind of too late. Not too late, but you would think that they give it to them like a month before their contract expires, but it came down to like the last few days.
Yeah, it's kind of.
If they really wanted to stay there with that company, which the Hardy Boys did, because of the convenience of it, then hell, if it was me, I would have probably stayed.
Yeah, well, it's a slap in the face to make you wait to the last couple days when you are pretty much you carried the company for a while there.
Yeah, but you gotta also remember it's new management coming into place, picking up where the other left off, and all kinds of stuff still going on like that. So, I mean, I see it. They can look at it both ways. I mean, they both ways it makes sense. I can understand both sides, but looks like the Hardys are going to be leaving or are gone. And Drew Galloway and Jade and Michael Bennett and Maria Kanellis Bennett.
See, I decided to finally take you up on your offer and watch part of a TNA episode, which, again, it was only a couple minutes because we were getting ready to do the show. But it didn't dawn on me till I saw her on screen that Jade is actually, I can't remember her name now. Did I say, was it You Kim or We Kim or something like that?
I'm not sure.
She's in a video that I posted on the Savvo and Stubby Show's website or Facebook page whenever I was going through my fascination with Athena, aka Ember Moon, and Yim was her opponent for AI Wrestling, and I was like, "This is a damn good match." I was joking with the Kraka that he goes, "You really don't listen to or watch women's wrestling?" And I said, "I do, but I have to be actually drawn into it. It doesn't necessarily have to have a backstory, but I have to see something that's worth watching. I don't want to see women just doing clotheslines and scoop slams." And these two went at it. And it's funny because when I saw her, it's like she looks familiar. But Jade is, in fact, Yim, but with shorter hair. And seeing that Ember Moon and Jade have a past feud, anyone that follows independent wrestling knows this, I could see Jade possibly going to NXT and there'd be a build because Ember Moon's still fairly new there. So they still have time before she gets put on the main roster because she hasn't had a title shot or a belt shot yet.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar with Jade until she came to TNA, but what I've seen of her in TNA, I haven't been really impressed. I don't know. So some of the moves don't look that really sellable the way she, does them.
Part of me thinks a lot of that falls on TV programming. Like, there's stuff that you have to do. I mean, a lot of it has to be scripted for safety reasons. And when you go into Indy, and I'll have to ask the Wetback on this, but on the Indy side of it, there really isn't limits that you have to set for yourself, as long as people don't get mangled or maimed.
Right.
And just a quick cheap plug for the Wetback, a.k.a. Joshua Macias. I know I'm supposed to keep it kayfabe. He's got a show coming up April 8th in Oakhurst, California. He's making his return to the ring. He's been out for, I believe, 6 years now, and I'm hoping to catch the show. But for those that want to catch some good wrestling and to see a friend of mine in action, he's going to be at I can't remember the name of the lodge, but it's in Oakhurst, California. You can post, or you can find me on Facebook and ask more information, and I can check with Josh to see. But the more support, the better. So yeah. Sorry, you were saying about TNA?
Oh, they just got a lot of changes going on, which is obvious. But I was reading up on an interview with Abyss. It kind of seemed kind of one-sided, but he was saying like everything's gonna, start building up and getting good. The way there's, the way they're gonna change things around. So far, there's been some rumors here coming too that Del Rio's going to be signing with them, and Bubba Ray also.
Have you not watched TNA recently?
I watched it yesterday. Yeah.
I heard Del Rio won the belt last night on TNA.
That's the thing. I think that's going to be next week because he wasn't there.
Oh.
They never gave any information out like that before until yesterday, and I was just like, what?
Okay,
so it never happened, no.
So what I have is I listened to another podcast, and I guess they have people that go to these tapings and stuff, and they're like their on-site correspondents. And apparently Del Rio made his debut in TNA and won the heavyweight championship.
Who cares?
Yeah, the thing with TNA is their shows are recorded.
Right.
So it could be a couple more weeks or something.
So with that said, do you think Paige is in the back locker room area, backstage?
I'm sure she would be, yeah.
But she's still under contract.
She's still under contract, but she's not, active.
And she's making money while still sitting at home.
Yeah.
6 figures, all you have to do is sit on your ass. Don't get yourself in trouble just because you want to see Poppy.
You didn't say that! Tell me you didn't just say that!
Si, senor.
Senor.
Some highlights of Impact yesterday. Galloway against Moose. Pretty good match. Some, pretty physical there.
Was Squirrel there too?
Really? Really?
No, he didn't show up.
There's a long dramatic pause. Thanks, ass.
I was like, Squirrel, is that like, Moose? But I don't know if you've heard. Have you heard Josh Matthews is talking hella shit about commentators and shit?
No, but from what I hear, he's not doing much better himself over there.
I wouldn't say he's really good, but he's more like a Michael Cole. He's not like a JR, Tenay, or anything like that. But he,
it's funny. I remember him as a nerd in a suit, and now he's a tatted, like sleeve nerd in a suit.
Right. Yeah. He had sent out some tweets or whatever, saying that he's the best commentator like ever or whatever. And a lot of other commentators are talking shit, and it was hella funny last night. Oh yeah, Cody Rhodes was there last night, and he attacked Moose. And
I guess Josh Matthews can get less trouble than Tom
Phillips.
Tom Mouthfuck. Did you hear the tweet that he actually posted?
I don't know.
I guess he posted to his side chick that he's on the airplane right now, and he's got a hard erection. He didn't say like boner. He called it an erection, and he can't wait to get to see her so he can mouth F the shit out of her.
Wow.
And I'm like, wow, nice to keep it. I mean, to call it an erection, way to keep it classy. That's the part of the message
He won't be around much longer.
Right, that's the part of the message that was PG, was the erection.
But it was hella funny because Cody Rhodes like flipped out and was attacking Moose, and then everybody came out, referees, some of the wrestlers, and they were trying to separate them, and then Cody just goes over. He was over by the announcer's table, and he freaking just grabs Josh Matthews and freaking just threw him, and he he flew and he forward rolled out of it, But it was so funny because after that, they went to a break, whatever, and then they came back, and Josh Matthews was, went back to announcing, but he kept saying oh, any other announcer would have to go to the hospital, but me, my superior shape and this and that, I'm back here within 3 minutes, and I'm, doing my job. And he kept going on. It's just this has to be an angle here because this is weird.
I do have a question, and I'm sure I'll hear a quick response from Josh. I have a hard time calling him the wetback. He just seems so racist, and it's not me. But I noticed that, Alberto Del Rio bounces in between Mexican promotions, Cody Rhodes over in New Japan, and the Hardys are bouncing around. Is just WWE the one that have very strict contracts where they're not allowed to work outside? Or is it, they just don't care everywhere else? Because Cody Rhodes, last time I checked, was over in New Japan. And you said now he showed up on TNA?
He's been in TNA, but he's also been in New Japan.
Yeah, because he's the American Nightmare over in Japan. What is he over on TNA?
The same.
Oh, okay. So he just carries the same gimmick across.
Yeah.
You know who I want to see?
Probably is.
I want to see come back. Maybe TNA will pick him up. He's real big overseas. He goes by, I think his name's Seidel now, but Evan Bourne, Matt Seidel.
Yeah.
I watched one of his matches. He grew his hair out a little bit. He's got a beard. Guy's badass. I think.
Yeah, he always was. Yeah.
I think I watched a match against him and Will Ospreay, and it's like it's like dancing in the ring. These guys are amazing.
I think I read that Ricochet dude's coming to Impact also.
See, there was talks that he was coming to WWE, but I think he backed out of that, which for his career's sake, it's probably best that he does. I mean, he doesn't need the exposure. He's already got it. And they'll dumb down half his moves anyway, because he'll outshine everybody in that locker room, and then they'll bury him like they do with half the talent.
Yeah, but how cool would that be, him against AJ?
It would be really cool, but it's been done.
Yeah, but half the world hasn't seen it.
True.
They had Lashley again, Josh Barnett.
I when I started to watch TNA, I saw. I guess she's the youngest champion in UFC championship, whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know enough about him.
He also does commentating with JR for New Japan.
See, I don't get this. With the Hardys leaving, does TNA really have marketable people that will draw an audience in?
They do have some currently, yes, and they're getting more.
I mean, who's your top 3 standouts in TNA right now? That's on the roster. not was on the roster.
Not the people that just left.
Right. That can currently still potentially carry the company.
Well, there's EC3, who everybody seems to get behind. I think he's, decent. I don't think he's the best or anything like that, but he's good. I like the whole decay angle.
I didn't like Rosemary's makeup when she came to the ring. That kind of freaked me out a little bit.
Well, how the hell does she keep spitting shit out? How do they keep doing that mist, man?
Tell her to swallow.
She got her like 2 or 3 times.
She's like a hamster,
How do they do that?
like a hamster or a gerbil. They have like little sacs in their mouth.
As actual individuals, James Storm is there. He's still good. Bram is there. He's pretty crazy. He's almost like he was at one point like a Eric Young type, crazy type. Right now he's in the DCC with James Storm and some other guy. I hear Del Rio will be coming over, possibly and probably Bubba Ray should be coming back, which is kind of weird because he went back to WWE and now he's going back there. It's just interesting because
he got tired of being buried.
They should have been. What?
He got tired of putting tag teams over that sucked.
Yeah, they should have been put in the Hall of Fame by now, don't you think?
Yeah, I say next year.
Well, they should have done it this year. They should. There's still time, but I don't know. Do they usually do just one tag team?
Yeah, I think so. But as long as they don't, as long as Bubba Ray doesn't piss Vince off by going to TNA,
right?
Because isn't Devon still with the creative team?
I don't. Oh, somebody said he's backstage, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I heard that, but yeah. I don't know if he's still there.
I don't see why they don't go in at least, if not this year, next year. I as far as I remember, there was only one tag team. Who was the tag team when we went to WrestleMania 32? Was it WrestleMania 32?
18? No, 30.
30. No, it wasn't. Was it 30?
It wasn't 32 because they're doing 33 this year.
Was it 30? Was it 31? Yeah, 31.
It's either 30 or 31. Yeah, I know. I know it wasn't 32.
Yeah, but who was the tag team that year? Because I don't remember, to be honest with you. Oh, was it the Fabulous Freebirds?
Usos.
No.
Oh, going into the Hall of Fame. Okay. No, it wasn't that one.
Was it the Freebirds?
It was the Bushwhackers. Bushwhackers.
Oh, what? Yeah, what shit is that, man?
They deserve to be in there, but not as the Bushwhackers. They deserve to be there as the Sheepherders, not the Bushwhackers.
So why were the Freebirds on stage that day? I can't remember.
It wasn't that day.
Am I getting my WrestleMania?
Yes, you are. They got inducted like last year.
Oh, okay. Man, it feels like I was there.
Remember Bad Street, Atlanta, GA?
That's right. We had Larry Zbyszko, right?
Yeah. Macho Man, Kevin Nash.
Alundra Blaze.
Rikishi, I think?
Yeah, Rikishi, and then we also had Mr. T.
One of the Asian dudes.
Was it Mr. T? Was it Mr. T? No, that was the year before that.
No, Arnold.
That's right, Arnold.
Arnold. You know what? That's weird because even, just the fact of being at a WrestleMania, whatever, it's, just so, you're kind of like in awe, just because of, they're going all out. But, and I'm not saying this because we were there, but I think the one that we were at was better than the more recent one.
I didn't like the fact that I was in the sun the whole damn time with the sunburn.
I'm talking about the actual matches.
Yeah. On a side note, while we're on the topic of TNA and / WWE, it is rumored that Kurt Angle is going to be at the Monday Night Raw just 1 week before WrestleMania.
cool.
I don't know to what.
They need to do something like with him.
Yeah, I don't know to what nature. This might be the time frame in which Mick Foley gets fired, or supposedly fired as GM.
Right.
Or
they keep hinting. He keeps hinting about it, like almost too much. You know.
Yeah, because the sheep are not that smart. We don't pick up on things. So they got to ram it down our throats like Roman Reigns. Giggity.
Right. Yeah, but I'm not saying Roman's great or anything like that, but his matches are still pretty decent. Okay, he doesn't have the moves or the mic skills, but what he does have is still, I don't know, maybe. I won't say that. But he's not that bad. It's just he's getting pushed down everybody's throat, in my opinion.
It could be just me, but it feels like Monday Night Raw, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, and NXT are at their lowest right now when it comes to creativity, right? Or the angles, storyline, and content. It's just, this is probably the most boring wrestling has been for me in a long time.
As far as Raw, yeah, it has been pretty bad. Again, just the same bullshit. New Day, Enzo, Cass. You got the tag team champions losing in handicap matches. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Should that have been on the sound off?
I know. I was thinking about that too. I was also thinking about the fact that if Sasha wins this belt against Bayley at Fastlane, she would have essentially won the title 5 times in the last 18 months.
You mean Charlotte?
Charlotte. So, this is what I said, wasn't it? Oh, I said Sasha.
I heard Sasha.
I probably did say sausage. Sausage Banks. But yeah, she's essentially, at that point, would have won the title 5 times in the last 18 months. Talk about losing credibility of what these belts mean. Or these titles mean, sorry. Sorry,
and then
Rod.
when you consider who she lost, and then when you consider who she lost them to,
they're just their roster's just too watered down. There's no, they pulled too much, and you're gonna, I use this word lightly for you. They pulled too much talent from NXT too early, or not even too early. It was like a fire.
They weren't ready.
They were ready. They did a fire sale though. They pulled all their top names from NXT. Brought them over to Raw and SmackDown, left NXT with no headliners. I mean, man, I can't fucking talk.
Nakamura.
Yeah, Josh would have said it, no problem. Nakamura.
Tokyo.
Yeah. Nakamura was on his way out to the main roster, but now you got what, Rude? And then there's really no other names that stand out over there besides Asuka, and she's on her way out.
I heard Nakamura's coming back.
Right, but after he has this feud with Rude, he has no reason to be on NXT anymore.
Yeah.
Like once they hit that peak of winning the belt once or twice, it's time to move them on up to the east side.
Championships.
Haven't
you learned anything?
Sorry, Roger.
We're gonna get heat now, man. Come on.
I know.
Championships or titles.
Titles. No one says championships. But
I do.
I went to go listen to another podcast. I know we're not supposed to be not jobbing out, but kayfabe, not talking about other people's podcasts and stuff, acknowledging the competition. But they were doing a.
This isn't WWE.
Right, they were doing a throwback to Nitro episodes, and just how bad the storylines were back in 2000. And it was funny to hear some of the stuff that was going on, like Booker T being arrested, David Flair getting his butt kicked by Terry Funk.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just random stuff, and we really haven't gone too far away from that crap. 17 years later, and we're still getting bullshit going on in the locker room and 17-minute promos and storylines that go nowhere.
And it was like a time in WCW, I don't know if you're familiar with it, when they started doing it was time for the young guys to start moving up. They called it like New Blood or something like that. You remember that?
Yeah.
It was like Billy Kidman against Hulk Hogan and stuff. They were, the young guys against the older guys. Which, I mean, if you really want to know where you stand in the company, even if I'm not just talking about wrestling, I'm just talking about anything pretty much. You need to go up, compete against, these people that are supposedly holding you back and see where you actually, the measuring stick, see where you qualify.
Speaking of Billy Kidman, I just watched Ready to Rumble again last night.
Now, where the hell did you find that at?
I have a Fire Stick, man. You can find any movie you want. But it's great because like half of the wrestlers that were on there are like really on the edge of their deathbed or they've passed away. And in fact, Rey Mysterio is on there without his mask.
Well, he had his mask taken off in WCW.
Well, the movie came out in 2000, and it's funny because when they were doing the podcast for Throwback Nitro, they were watching this content on the WWE Network since they own the rights to the library. But all the commercials were removed from the show, and there was a movie spot for Ready to Rumble that they pulled out too, simply because it was a WCW product.
Right.
But yeah, the movie had like Bam Bam Bigelow, Sid, Goldberg, DDP, Juventud was there, Ray was there. There was a guy that was kind of looked like Hogan. What does Canyon look like?
Canyon had long dark hair, he had a beard,
okay.
Mustache.
It wasn't Canyon then. He was kind of like decked out like Buff Bagwell, but he was like Kevin Nash's Kevin Nash's height, but with blonde hair. Almost looked like Test. But you gotta imagine.
Van Hammer?
Yeah, actually, I think it was Van Hammer. But they had Conan on there. It was pretty neat to go back and see it.
Oh, there's another thought. Conan, he's supposed to be coming back to TNA. Impact.
I think
and,
he was
possibly bring back the LAX angle.
Well, which
was pretty cool. I liked him.
He was there with Alberto Del Rio, I believe, or unless it's. I mean, Josh would know, but unless the promotion was elsewhere. But I know Rey Mysterio was in the same promotion. But is Conan still in the shape to wrestle?
He'd probably be more like a manager, but I don't know. They showed him because the Hardys teleported to Tijuana and they took on the tag team champions over there. And what do you call him? Conan runs the company over there, whatever, the promoter. They did show him. He looks pretty. He looks a lot older. We'll say, put on some weight, but yeah. So I heard that they're trying to get him back, or he's coming back, or something.
Well, I also hear the angle that they do not want the Hardys to come back on the show and lose the titles. So what's going to happen with the tag titles for TNA?
I don't know. I don't understand why they would not want to do that.
I mean, the obvious angle that we know that they're going on there just to lose it.
Okay, I guess maybe. What about the opposite theory of they take it with them to create more controversy?
Or the opposite.
Because if they end up in WWE, they're going to have these belts, championships.
What if you take my angle and they teleport and they get stuck in the WWE universe and the belts come with them and TNA recognizes that and they just reissue new belts?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's too many possibilities right now. I have no idea.
What are your hopes with the Hardys?
With what?
The Hardys.
Honestly, I wish they would have stayed in Impact, and maybe in a few years when they're ready to retire, then go to WWE. That was what I preferred because of course everybody wants to be in the WWE Hall of Fame, but I don't think they're ready to retire just yet.
Well, let me rephrase the question. Given the circumstances, what do you think is going to happen with the Hardys?
I think they might try the independent scene first, and then go to WWE.
Do you want to see him in WWE?
I think they're scheduled. I can't remember where, but until March 1st. Wait, not March. Wait, April 1st.
Doesn't say March 1st was like 2 days ago.
Right, April 1st.
I don't want to see him go to WWE, honestly.
I want to see them when they're gonna call it quits. But
the only way that I'd see them in WWE would be if they did a part-time schedule, kind of like the way Brock Lesnar set up or Jericho set up.
Yeah, Jericho's more full-time than part-time.
Is
you know what I mean?
Is he though?
Every week.
Is he though? I mean, recently he's been, but for a while there he was scattered.
He's going to go part-time. I mean, he's going to be going with Fozzy soon anyway, so.
I could have threw this in the sound off too, is, call me crazy, but don't call me crazy. We had Undertaker, I'd say a couple months back, maybe not that long, or maybe it was that long. He came on to SmackDown. He pretty much told the guys on SmackDown, get your shit together. We need to make the show great. You're going to see a lot more of me.
And he goes to Raw.
No, he hasn't been on TV, period.
But he went to Raw, didn't he? Yeah.
No, he's on SmackDown.
Didn't he show up on Raw, though?
They're one and the same, but no, I'm pretty sure he was on SmackDown, but even then, he's only made like 2 or 3 appearances, if that.
Right.
Like,
that's the Godfather.
that's the whole sheep thing. Like, we just pretend like it didn't happen.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, he's supposed to have another surgery too, or he needs to have another surgery.
I think I know why they call it the WWE Universe, because Marvel does this shit too. They call it a universe or an alternate universe because they can take a storyline, kill a character off, alter a character, make a character black, make a character white. And that's just one universe inside this universe. So WWE can take a character like Festus, add him to the Straight Edge Society, then add him over or they can take him over to TNA and he's part of the Aces and Eights, and then bring him back over to WWE as the Bullet Club. And it's like nobody's supposed to remember this shit.
People evolve.
Yeah, apparently. Except Dolph Ziggler.
Poor Dolph.
I want to like the guy. No wonder why Jack Swagger asked for his release, dude. He got it. He realized.
They haven't done anything with him.
And it's a shame, too, because I liked Jack Swagger, but he had the curse of the 2 earlies. They brought him to the top way too fast. He was champion, and then they didn't know what to do with him afterward.
Yeah, they're doing that a lot lately, but we don't make the calls.
No, it's like everyone gets the express lane, and then boom, they fall off. I mean, look at New Day.
Yeah, and then what do we do with them? What do we do with them?
Yeah, New Day was like the biggest thing for, 400-something days?
Right.
And now it's like, fuck, I don't want to see him on TV anymore. I don't want to hear about Bootios.
I'm so done with them. I really am. It's like, okay, that's when I get up to go take a piss or something, It's like, you know,
it might
see
just
what's going on.
it might just be me, but I like my Dryer's ice cream with 3 ingredients. That's milk, ice, and whatever flavoring, right? I don't want booty juice in my ice cream.
What about unicorn, whatever?
Unicorn sparkles or whatever?
What? Who fucking cares? This is fucking ridiculous. That's going back to the 80s fucking WWE.
But the sheep eat it up, and that's killing me too.
I know. The sheep fucking suck.
Yeah?
It's whether it's them or Enzo and Cass. It's you know what? Look at now. What are they doing with Rusev? They're making a joke out of him now too, pretty much.
Yeah, I can't even look at Rusev because I'm so focused on Jinder Mahal's jacked ass, dude.
His ass?
No, not his actual ass. Sorry, his jacked facade.
Yeah.
Dude's juicing like
Hard
crazy.
body, what is it?
Huh?
Hard body Mahal or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, isn't that the pure definition of juiced up right there? He was not naturally that cut, and
right.
But he might be on the same regimen that Big Show's on because, dude, he makes Cesaro look small now. Cesaro was like what 2% body fat.
Something, I don't know.
I think Jinder Mahal has no body fat. I think he's just muscle. Yeah, I wish I'm probably gonna go back and edit that. I didn't mean Jinder Mahal's ripped ass or jacked ass or whatever it is. I said.
Oh, why would you edit it?
Because. No, I'm not.
Hey, you edit it, I walk.
Then the ratings go up. Boom, bitches.
Booyah. I'll be
Booyakasha.
crank calling.
Booyakasha.
I'll be crank calling you.
You gonna do voices like, yes. It's all in good. It's all in good fun. It's all in good fun. If you can't laugh at yourself, then yeah. So, anything else you want to touch on?
Just myself. I mean,
Giggity.
Yeah, I don't do that.
All right,
Giggity.
so you know what? Let's talk about Fastlane. I'm
kind of.
I know
it
we.
seems kind of like a very mediocre card to me. Lineup.
It's a pay-per-view I really don't care the results to because I don't think whatever happens on Fastlane is going to affect what happens over the next 3 or 4 weeks. Because they're going to build it up, whatever it is. I mean, the fact that we had a AJ Styles versus Luke Harper twice that held no value whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
What's to say anything on this Fastlane card is going to matter?
Right. Well, you know what I've noticed, and this is just okay. WWE is like the biggest company, you know, in that field of entertainment, right?
Right.
Why are there advertisements or whatever for these pay-per-views so fucking stupid? Read the last one, Elimination Chamber, and now this one you hear the race car revving or whatever. It's like that sounds like something they would have done back in the Hogan days. It's like it just sounds so generic and stupid. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just saying, a company like that shouldn't they update that a little bit?
No, the problem is they got pay-per-views every 2 weeks. They don't have time to get a vignette going or any kind of proper setup for the pay-per-view.
Well, the way they talk about things are already planned for like a few months down the road. So, assign somebody a fucking to come up with some sound bites or whatever that fucking sound good instead of Elimination Chamber.
We gotta keep the illusion, man. Keep the illusion.
What?
You gotta keep the illusion. Even if it's pretty...
Illusion of what?
If
$1
you...
billion company, whatever it is, acting like they're fucking going out of business?
Well, I mean, if it's predetermined 3 months in advance, you don't want to already have a quality, like, promotion thing set up for it, because then it's going to look like you already knew.
I'm just talking about the sound effects of it.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Dude.
What else you got?
I don't think Kevin Owens is not losing the belt. I do see Enzo and Cass winning the titles because they're going to lose it. They're going to lose it at Mania, and that's what's going to be the downfall of the group.
I hope not. That's just fucking nonsense.
Bayley's going to keep the belt at least for one more month. It only makes
lose it at Mania?
Yeah, it only makes sense for her to keep it. There's no point at all for her to lose it.
Yeah, but then that's just making Charlotte look weak.
But here's the thing. Charlotte has never lost a pay-per-view when the title's on the line by pinfall or submission. So there's going to be a disqualification that goes over, so that way Charlotte still keeps her record intact. Bayley still keeps the belt.
Retains the belt till Mania.
Exactly.
So who wins at Mania?
Oh, we don't know what the Mania card is yet, do we?
Bayley.
Is it a Fatal 4-Way?
Sasha, Charlotte, and I guess Nia Jax.
I think Nia gets her time to shine.
It hasn't been announced, but that's the rumor.
I wouldn't be surprised because WWE's writing staff is just fucking lazy. And instead of giving people like their own matches, they're just going to group all the women together. They do it every pay-per-view for the most part.
Yeah. They did it, the one that we went to too.
Yeah, it's because they just don't believe in their own product. That the women.
It's like you. Nobody wants to see women's wrestling.
It's not that I don't want to see them. There's nobody on that, nobody in that locker room. I'm never going to live that down, am I?
Not anytime soon, but
there's just nobody in that locker room that I go, oh my god, I got to see her wrestle. In NXT, there is Liv Morgan and Ember Moon. I'll stop and watch the match. I won't fast forward. I may pause to take a piss, but I'm not gonna go use the bathroom while the match is going.
Until they bring them onto the main roster. Then it's gonna all go to shit.
Yeah.
SmackDown, the whole John Cena thing. What would you think about him against Undertaker?
I think it has to happen because
eventually, yeah.
No, I mean, it has to happen now because Taker. We don't know exactly how many. I mean, do you think he has another Mania in him? I don't.
I don't know. I mean, by what I see in the pictures and rumors and stuff, he looks pretty bad. I know he needs some surgery, whatever, but I don't know. But yeah, it should be now instead of later, yeah.
And there's still room for this because I don't see how they're going to build a card at this point with Roman Reigns if it's Reigns that he's fighting. I mean, is Taker going to all of a sudden show up in the ring at Fastlane? There's no build-up going into anything yet. Nobody knows who Taker's fighting. We assume it's Reigns.
You mean Fastlane, which is a Raw pay-per-view?
Right. Yes, exactly. There's no build-up. So, but Roman Reigns is there.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns is there, so that would be the only reason why he'd show up at Fastlane.
Yeah.
But
not to get right.
But there's no build-up to anything, so John Cena dropped a hint that there's a potential on SmackDown. Which, another thing on Cena, I praised him on the last episode about how he cut a wonderful promo against The Miz.
Oh, yeah.
But I had time to think about it, and really, did he have to be an asshole? The guy is potentially...
Oh, Cena?
The guy's potentially out the door in the next, month or so to go shoot movies or do whatever.
Right.
He can't put The Miz over. It's going to hurt him to put The Miz over. He gains nothing from this by burying The Miz. Second of all, why does Cena still turn into a black dude whenever he gets, worked up?
I know.
He's 30. What?
I know, he gets all ghetto.
What is he, like 37 years old? You don't need to be talking like that anymore.
You ain't the Undertaker, but what did he say?
Have you heard Eminem talk?
I try not to.
No, he's like a Harvard professor now. He's like 40-something years old. He gets it. That shit's not...
Oh, really?
It's not legit anymore. You're not 23 years old.
Thugonomics?
Yeah. Cena, when you see him on the Divas or whatever, Total Bellas,
Yeah.
he talks normal and he's like quiet and he's poised.
Right.
But all of a sudden he turns into this thug, this white.
That's when he gets mad, yeah.
He turns into the equivalent that Family Guy does with any white rapper they put on their cartoon. They always make him sound like stereotypical black. And it's like, dude, you've been doing this for the last 15 years. Knock it off. But no, it just bothered me that the more I thought about it, he could have said other things to prove his point, but he didn't have to bury the Miz. Miz still has to be there for the next however many years.
Right.
Cena's time's almost up.
His time is now.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean, come on, he's got, 16 years or whatever it is, 15, 16, whatever.
And given Hogan wrestled until he's, 90? And so did Flair.
90. You know what? It's like, looking back at, Hogan in WCW, he was, in the best shape back then compared to, when he was really popular in the 80s and stuff.
Oh, yeah, because it was guaranteed money. He could afford drugs at the time.
Come on now.
Oh, don't act like he's clean.
I have no proof to say that he isn't.
But, I mean, guaranteed money. It changes people. I mean, look at Scott Hall. when he got his guaranteed paycheck, all of a sudden, shit went downhill.
Yeah.
Man, he was like total regression.
Yeah, he made those appearances at the Independence, and he was fucking wasted.
I mean, you look back too. Once guaranteed money happened, Sean Waltman fell apart.
Yeah.
It's like
the whole mean NWO people.
Yeah, they all partied too much. They were living on it.
Except for Nash, I guess.
Yeah,
huh?
Nash kept it clean because he was so close to Triple H, and Triple H probably just kept him on the straight and narrow.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, they were all close to Triple H, but who knows? Who knows what goes on back, behind the curtain?
All right, man. I think we've exhausted every angle of this podcast because we covered a lot in the last episode. But we'll have more content after this crap fest of a pay-per-view happens this Sunday.
Well, in our defense, we did have 2 shows in 3 days or whatever it was. So,
Yeah, and we still
covered a lot.
Still able to knock out
2.
an hour's worth of content.
Right.
Before we go, though, is there anything about the pay-per-view that you're looking forward to? Not really.
I'm interested to see what's going to happen with Goldberg.
All right,
He doesn't need the title. No, I understand he doesn't need. It'd be kind of pointless. But I don't know. Owens, shit. Look how long he's actually had the title. Everybody else is losing their title every other pay-per-view, it seems like.
I do actually have an angle on that. If Owens doesn't lose the belt, is this going to be a fast match? Or even if he loses the belt, is this going to be a fast match? And if not, does it make Brock Lesnar look like a little bitch? Because he's
it depends how if Goldberg loses, it depends how he loses. Is there going to be an interference because you said something last time? Maybe Jericho will come out. Blah blah blah.
I just had an epiphany. There might be a reason why Owens... What? Huh?
Who's Tiffany?
An epiphany. Owens made it a point to say that he doesn't have to, necessarily beat Goldberg. He just has to outlast him.
Right.
That might be a hint that he's going to try to to legitimately draw the match out. Because in real life, if they were to fight, just like with Brock Lesnar, it'd be over in like a minute, give or take. 30 seconds, 45 seconds. So by outlasting, he's probably going to slip out of the ring, and it gives Jericho enough time to make it down to the ring to interfere. Because legitimately, there's no way he's in that squared circle and outlast Lesnar without making him look like a chump. Because WWE, they wrapped up his match real quick twice. Even though the Rumble wasn't a quick match, it was just he got tossed out. So
yeah, I mean, I didn't mind Goldberg winning against Brock, but I did mind how fast it all happened. It was like, come on, really? Brock Lesnar's going to lose in like 90 seconds?
That might not be a bad thing, though, because if you thought about it, the pay-per-view or the WrestleMania that was built up with Rock and Cena, that was a year in the works. I mean, they vocalized that it was a year in the works. The Lesnar versus Goldberg match, they're not vocalizing it, but the fact that they ended it fast and he got tossed out quickly at Rumble was the modern day version of Rock versus Cena build up. Instead of vocalizing that it's a match in the works, this is going to be supposed to be a big WrestleMania match. This is going to be one of those 15, 20, 25 minute matches. So it was them subconsciously doing a build, a super build, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah, so their match at WrestleMania should be a good one. I mean, better be a good one.
If it's not, and it's one of these 15-second things, I'm done.
Or even if it's like the freaking one they had back in the early, was it 2002 or 4 or whatever it was?
No.
When they were both on the way out.
Lesnar can't afford to lie on his neck, dude.
That was Angle. Against Angle.
Oh, was it?
I think so, yeah.
Oh.
Shit. I was just going to say something.
What is it?
Oh. People like Brock and Undertaker, that just like these part-timers, that are still relevant.
Yeah.
I don't think they should have been part of the draft. They should have been able to come and go to both shows. I think that would have added more excitement to it.
I agree. Let them be floaters.
Yeah.
That's floaters as in jumping between shows, not what you find in the Wetback and Cracker's bathroom stall. Speaking of floaters, what is the angle with Angle? There's a chance, like I was saying, that he's going to be showing up on Monday Night Raw right before WrestleMania. You think he's a special guest referee? You think he might be part of the managing staff, or do you think he actually has a match?
I know he wants to wrestle at least a few more, a couple more matches, but you got to pass his, physical, all that stuff there.
We're not going to see a last-minute Angle versus Big Show, are we? I would hate that. I really would. Although
I hear Shaq might not be doing it.
Right, but it does make sense why Big Show is getting in such incredible shape. But
because of Angle?
Yeah, there's that. If he's not wrestling Shaq, who's he getting? It's great he's getting into shape, but who's he getting in shape for?
Right.
He has to be mobile.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see, Stubby.
All right, so is this where we call it a wrap?
Yeah, I think all of my topics have been covered.
All right, well, as always, It's me, it's STUBB. Why? Because I'm the man, the myth, the legend, the mighty minion himself, Stubby. That's your line.
Hoorah, hoorah, hoorah! Savvo.
And as always,
I love it when Titus does that.
hoorah, hoorah, hoorah. You gotta say it with pizzazz. Gotta put some.
Hoorah, hoorah. Oh wait, that goes my throat.
You gotta put some stank on it.
Hoorah, hoorah.
See, if we were at the Blue Oyster, you can't say stuff like "there goes my throat."
Oh my.
Oh yeah. But as always, you can find us on the I was gonna say the Wetback and Crack a Power Hour. You can find us on the Savvo and Stubby Show Facebook page at facebook.com/Savvo and Stubby. Where else can they find us, Savvo?
You can go to the Apple Store, download it from there.
Download.
You can go to Spreaker.
Download.
What?
Download what from the Apple Store?
Was it Spreaker?
Spreaker with an R.
Yeah, Spreaker. I know, Spreaker.
This is what happens when I let you cut promos.
What's that?
This is what happens when I let you cut promos. Here you go.
You can download it from the Apple Store.
No, sir. You can check us out by going to Google Play or Apple Store, download the Spreaker app, click on the Savvo and Stubby link, boom, we're in your pocket, boom, we're in your ear. Or you can check us out directly through the Spreaker.com website. Locate us through the search engine, look up Savvo and Stubby Show. Or you can listen to us either on my Facebook page or Savvo's Facebook page. That's how you cut a promo.
All these fucking options, Jesus.
Hey, what can I say? I get around. Wait, no. Cancel that. Alright, Savvo. Stubby out.
Savvo out. Hoorah, hoorah!
The following announcement's been paid for by the Savvo and Stubby Show.